I want to ask you about the Benghazi hearing because she's primed, ready to go. She's prepping.
Right.
But there are some pitfalls for her, aren't there? Because of the same question that I asked Barbara Boxer.
Right.
How could she be Secretary of State, be in charge, and not have those security warnings come to her level?
Why did you ask one of the 7 other congressional committees that have investigated this over the gazillion hours of testimony and documents and everything else? You know, Andrea, and let me be clear, John Harris, as opposed to sending some over-the-head reporter writing some slobbering piece about Trey Gowdy, I got an idea for somebody in the media. Why don't you see if this is true, that Trey Gowdy is a creation of the Koch brothers and the whole climate denial industry. And this committee was nothing but a creation of Rupert Murdoch and the Koch brothers. You know, Fox ran over 1,000 segments in 20 months after this thing. This is, according to not only the Kevin McCarthy, the guy from upstate New York, the Air Force major, who's a lifelong Republican, this is a taxpayer-funded, understand, taxpayer-funded partisan operation that they're running there. There have been seven congressional committees that have looked into this and issued reports, in addition to Admiral Mueller and Ambassador Pickering. So they can ask what they want, but they've already exposed themselves to what they are. They're no more interested in finding out than anything. All they're interested in is driving her poll numbers down. They've admitted as much. It's just a fact, and it's all he got into Congress because the Koch brothers put him there.
Well, I
you
don't
can fact check it. They can fact check it. I'm right here. Go. Everybody fact check it. Have Politico do a story about the connection between them. I'm fine with that. But don't send some over-your-head reporter to write, oh, poor Trey Gowdy, isn't it terrible? He's in the middle of a political fight.
Well, that's not my reporting.
I know,
so
not yours.
I'm not going to take over here.
I can say that.
Let me ask you about the fact that the Benghazi committee is the first to reveal that she had the private email server.
Well, she had a private email service. So and by the way, it was the Inspector General that said it was no doubt that this was legal. So we could spend $4.3 million on a private email server. I mean,
well,
they've
admitted,
they admitted that this was nothing but an attempt to drive the poll numbers down. Have employees who are lifelong Republicans come out and said all they were interested in and obsessed with was Hillary's politics? Why don't they do this? Why don't they release Sidney Blumenthal's testimony? Sidney's called on it, his lawyers have called on it, the Democrats on the committee have called on it. And why has no one asked him the simple question? Just, you bring up all these things, just release the man's testimony. That's all you have to do.
And why was Sid Blumenthal even sending her emails about
sending her
email information about Libya?
We know.
What was his expertise on Libya?
Why don't the committee release his testimony? If there was something wrong, just release it. That's all there is. That's all we're asking. And how many questions did they ask Sidney Blumenthal about politics and how much they asked him about Libya? And we could know if they released the testimony. We could find out for sure if this was a politically motivated
James, if you were still advising Hillary Clinton, I don't know if you are, but if you were helping her prepare this week, what is the key advice you would give her, a woman who, let's face it, before one of the hearings, when she was a little under the weather, did lose her cool, and that is the soundbite that has been, viral. Right. What advice would you give her about her demeanor on Thursday?
I would just say answer the questions succinctly. You know the answers to these. You've answered them before. That, you just understand that these people are just trying to get you politically. Don't play their game. Just be above the fray, and, you'll be fine. Just be totally prepared, and I'm sure she is. It's not knows going into this what this is. This was, all was a result of pressure from Rupert Murdoch and the Koch brothers. And we know where Trey Gowdy comes from. All of this stuff is in the public record. There's no doubt about it.
We will follow up, James, and of course, Congressman Gowdy is welcome to come on and respond.
Yes, and ask him about how much money did the Koch brothers give him when he ran, and why did they run it? Why is he part of this whole climate denial subculture out there?
To be continued.